Blackfoot Communications continues to lift up our local entrepreneurs, delivering the resources needed to transform ideas into businesses. Our C2M beta program was founded with the mission to connect local entrepreneurs to more. With access to more professional expertise, more state-of-the-art technology, and more development resources, our 12-week program delivers the foundational and modern skills required to transform influential ideas into thriving businesses. Apply today at goblackfoot.com/apply.
First of all, I just want to say I'm really proud of these guys. These guys got prepared. You know, they were ready. You know, it's no secret. You know, we've been a little bit up and down, obviously, coming into this game, and these guys really locked in and prepared. And the thing that I was really most proud of, they really came together. And these guys played for each other today and came together and tried to figure out a way to win a game. And I thought the key to the game, actually, I'll be honest with you, was when we got down 12-2. And we didn't panic, we didn't flinch, you know, we just kind of had a good time out, everybody was calm, let's get some stops and we'll be right back in it. And I thought when we got back in it, I actually thought that was kind of the key to the game. But I'm really proud of the team for getting themselves ready to go and getting the win against a really tough Griz Montana team.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open it up to questions just for the players. 1 second.
Dillon, 23 points, 11 rebounds. You're just a freshman, so do you just embrace sort of the big stage like this, or what's the part of your personality that just lets you thrive on the court like you did today?
I just think mainly I just was trying to win for my team. I'm not the type of guy to get caught up in stats or whatever, but you know I just trying to win. I think it's just that simple. Just saying, I like to say like big time players make big time plays in big time games, and that's kind of like motto I use. You know, you can do whatever versus a low-level opponent. You know, people remember you best when you really need it. So the team needed a night, and I was there, so I'm thankful. But again, like it could have been any of my teammates that had a big game sitting up here where I'm at. You know, and as a team, we understand that. So you know, I'm gonna just enjoy my night, but I know, you know, our team is more than capable of carrying the torch just like I did tonight.
So trailing for the majority of the first half, and then established that 5 points going into the half, and then going on that explosive run in the second. Where was your guys' head going? How did you establish it?
I thought we were fine. You know, like when we go into games like that, like how we've been up and down leading up to this game, we haven't shown a lot of resilience and a lot of perseverance to the person we're up and down leading up to this game. And when you ask God for those things, you know, He's not going to give you those things. He's going to give you things that are going to test those things. And that's what happened. Like down 12-2, He made sure we got tested. We passed the test. We stayed together. We made sure that everyone's heads were in the right space. And we knew it was a game of runs. It's basketball, and the game it was early, so we knew we were good. We knew we were a good basketball team. All we had to do was stay together and trust our system, trust our coaches, trust each other, you know, and things will fall into place for us. And that's what we did.
Shooting to us experience, how big of it was for you guys to meet these guys because of last year's tournament, obviously?
Me personally, I'm new, so it don't matter to me. I just want to win. Like, it don't matter who we play. Yeah, it could have been Sisters of the Poor. As long as we won the game, we would have been fine. I don't really care who it was or what happened last year. Last year doesn't really matter. So we live in the present, we live in the now, and we got the W. So that's all that matters to me.
And on the flip of that, being on the team last year, you know, going through that, it was it's one of those feelings you don't forget, you know, and you know, we don't have to say it, but you know, it gives you an extra battery in your back, you know. And it's just crazy how it all works, you know, how we play the same team on the same stage. You know, we got to go through the same thing. We knew, obviously, you know, Weber State versus Montana, you know, it doesn't get no better than that. You know, we knew it was going to be a tough game because they're always ready to play. But it was an emotional win, at least for me, I thought, because, you know, when you put so much into the season, you know, you want to reach the top every time you go. And losing the first round was rough, but, you know, it was emotional to me because fought that hard to get back to this moment because a lot of my teammates on the team, they didn't forget. And I know I did, so it's a good win.
Andrew Howell from Skyline Sports. For either of you guys, I mean, you pulled away with that sort of holding them scoreless out of halftime. What was the scout on them defensively, and what did you do to try to take away some of the things that they wanted to do?
Beasley and Ben, don't let them beat us. Simple as that.
And like him, we knew their best players we knew that Josh Bannon was getting a lot of stuff done for them. So he was a big guy on our scout report. We held him scoreless for a long time. I don't know to win, but you know, that was a big piece of our scout report. You know, we knew if we contained him, that we'd be in a good place. You know, because Beasley, you know, he does a good job of keeping the minute with his timely threes. So I told his team, you know, to stress like knowing where he's at because he does a good job of hitting the three when they need it. So like you said, the scout report was pretty simple, but honestly, we've been a good defensive team. Like that's what our team is made for. I mean, we just showed who we were tonight. You know, we just got back to who we were. Honestly, that's what I feel like. The scout report and all that, you know, is whatever. But in March, you know, you just got to really lock in. I think our team is just our team. We're just a good defensive team. So a lot of our teammates play good D. Like, you know, you can't tell us who our best defender is because we all feel like we're the best defenders. So that's just who our team is.
Koby, you guys are down 12-2 right out of the gate. You know, your coach can say, "Oh, well, you just got to chip away." You know, how do you guys rally around each other on the court to put that to action?
Just gotta stay in the moment, stay present. Like you said, coach can say chip away, and he can say whatever he wants. But it's up to us to band together, trust each other, come together, and just play the right way. I think once we play the right way, you know, it's gonna be hard to beat us. You know what I'm saying? So when we went down 12-2, I think has a lot to do with experience too. Like I've been in these situations tons of times. So as the leader of the team, you know, like I know my guys react how I react. They go as I go. And I was pretty calm when they went up on that run because I know it's a game of runs and it's still early. I mean, you know, there's nothing to worry about. But like I said, just stay present, stay in the moment. Don't look ahead. Don't look at what we got to do to make a home run play. You know, just make a simple play every single time. And you know, by the time you look up, you're like where you're at. So I think that's just basically what we did. It didn't have to be said. You know, it was just something that we understood. So
Thanks, guys. We'll open it up for Coach now.
shit in it. All right, coach.
All right, brother. Start your work tonight. Jump, jump.
Coach, I'm going to ask the obvious question. The Wildcats won 7 against Montana for the last 13 years with an expanded tournament. How does it feel to get the monkey off the back today in such a dominating fashion?
It's good. It's good. Yeah. There's no secret. They've been our nemesis, you know. And part of the reason is they're always good. We're always pretty damn good too. But they've got the best of us. There's no doubt. So, and when we came up with the draw, you know, that we had to play them, it was kind of like, here we go again. But you know, we don't. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think about that. Getting these guys ready to play. We just knew this was going to be our next basketball game. We knew that they had a really good basketball team, and we had to prepare. And like Koby said, just stay in the present and try to get our team ready to play. And our guys were really ready to play today, and I thought we defended really, really well today. I think that was the key to the game. But yeah, it's obviously more fun to beat them than to lose to them. I'll tell you that much.
Coach Bill Scott's with the Brazilian newspaper. It was still a tight ball game at halftime. You come out, I think you hit 9 shots in a row. You shut them down. What did you like about that first 7 minutes of the second half?
Our energy, you know, we challenged our guys at halftime. We want to win the next 4 minutes. That's our deal, you know. So we got to come out and win the first 4 minutes, and to do that, we got to have high energy and we got to be really aggressive. And then we got to get stops because, to be honest with you, our team's based on defense. And if we get stops, we run pretty good offense. But I liked our energy. I liked our aggressiveness. I liked that we didn't take bad shots. We guarded well. But the energy and the aggressiveness is something I challenged them to do. And, you know, and win the first 4 minutes, and then we got to win the next 4, and then the next 4. I'm not the smartest guy, so I can't look too far forward. 4 minutes is about all I got. And so our guys did a good job of that.
Coach, just how rewarding is it when you go on recruiting trips and you bring in a guy like Dillon Jones, just right out the gate as he joins the program, still young, just to have a performance like he did today on the biggest stage?
I'm really proud of him, but I got to tell you, he's worked for moments like this. Incredibly hard worker, and a lot of our guys are. But he spent the whole spring and the summer basically up in Ogden. He's from South Carolina. He went home for like 2 weeks, and he wanted to get better. And so he's kind of prepared himself. You don't have games like this without preparing and putting the time in, and he's done that. And he's just, last year he couldn't throw it in the ocean. I mean, his shot was broke. Broke. And now he's making threes because of the work he put in. He wanted to be a well-rounded player. And so he put in the time, and now you're seeing he's making some threes. He's becoming a better player. So I'm just really proud of him. He's an incredible kid. And it's just fun to see hard work pay off.
Any more for Coach? One final question.
Yeah, same question I asked those guys, I guess, about the defense, and just we'll return it with them X's and O's wise. And do you think that if you took a couple of their guys away, it would be hard for them to score?
Well, we were hoping so. I mean, Bannon's really good. He's going to be a future, potentially MVP guy in the league. Beasley's been giving us fits. So that was kind of the top 2 guys. I didn't know if we weren't going to shut them out, but I wanted to make it hard for them. We didn't need Bannon to go 8 for 12 or something. We needed him to go 2 or 3 for 13. And we didn't need Beasley to make 5 threes. And so we just kind of challenged our guys, make it really hard for them. Just can't give them easy looks, and they got to earn everything. And I thought our guys did that. So, those are 2 really good players for them. And, the other thing I want to say, too, about, Travis does a hell of a job. He's a really good basketball coach. So when we lock horns, it's a fist fight. And Travis, I got a lot of respect for Montana. I got a lot of respect for Travis and the job they do up there. And, it's nice to beat them, but they do one hell of a job.
Yeah, then you guys rolled into a matchup with the number 1 seed Montana State. They played sort of a similar game to you today where they went down, came back, and won it pretty easily at the end. Just your initial thoughts on that matchup and their team this year?
They're really good. Yeah, they're really good. I actually picked them to win our league in the preseason. I thought they were the best team in our league, and it came to fruition. I like their team a lot. They've got everything you need to be really good. They got the best big man in the league. They got athletic guys. They got shooters. They got, maybe the best guard or one of the best guards in the league who you can't keep out of the paint. And Danny does a good job. They guard you well. They rebound. They're just very, very good in every area. That's why they ended up winning the regular season. So we obviously know we got our work cut out for us tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
1959, at Street's Grocery in Whitefish, Montana's special spice was born. Alpine Touch. It's the taste you grew up with, well seasoned through the test of time. As the tradition carries from one Montana generation to the next. From its humble beginnings to a trusted brand, here's to the next 60 years. Alpine Touch. Montana's special spice since 1959.
I think you just saw 2 teams. They got off to a great start in the first half of conference, both striking distance in the conference championship, and then both kind of hit a wall a little bit for a number of reasons, and then trying to find ourselves down the stretch. And I thought we got off to a good start. We focused, we got all the right things. Found trouble, got a hold of us. It's becoming a common thing for us right now as starters. Sitting on for minutes in the first half and trying to weather the storm. Thought we got off to the right start, and it was just hard to sustain the momentum. We don't have the guys on the floor momentum. And you're looking at a team, a young team for one. You've got 3 guys out there in their second season playing against a lot of teams that have guys in their 6-year school. And so I think there's some maturity differences, some physical differences that exist in some of those games. And I think that kind of works down throughout the second half of the season. And then losing Mac Anderson, we've also been able to do that defensively. And again, like this year, we can't give up 57
Thank you, Coach. We'll come back to questions for Coach in just a moment. We're going to start off with questions for our team players.
Brandon, you guys had a stretch where you didn't hit a shot for over 11 minutes. Was it something on Weaver State's defense that just made it tough for you guys, or were you guys liked the shots you took, but they just weren't falling?
I think at a point we got really stagnated, and I think sometimes people were just trying to do things themselves. I think in the beginning of the game we moved the ball and everybody was touching it, we were getting good shots at one, but once we get adversity, I feel like we just got more stagnant. That's what happened.
Robby, obviously, you guys know you had the talent to make a run. I'm just wondering, what's the feeling like? Obviously, a lot of disappointment knowing that you guys came up short today.
Yeah, obviously very disappointed, a little bit angry. Obviously, it didn't end the way we wanted to, but the whole spring and summer to turn around, we're so young, so we've got a lot of time, and we're just going to get better.
And just to follow up on that, was there anything that you were seeing defensively from Weaver that was kind of giving you fits? Anything that stood out for you?
I mean, they're just fighting the touch, pressure the ball. That's what they do. We played them twice before, so it's nothing different. I just feel like it was hard moving the ball and really what we wanted.
Any more questions for our players?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you too, what's your first impression of, you guys played last year, obviously, this year's fans, it's like an actual tournament, as well as some impressions here, just like watching the game together, playing it, your fans.
Yeah, I think it was fun. It was a fun experience, especially not experiencing it last year, like you said. Yeah, I just think it was a fun experience getting to watch other teams play live, which we never get to do. That was fun, and just having the crowd and everything, the experience was cool. I think definitely could have been a lot more fun if we played a lot better, got past the first game, but it was still exciting to just watch the games and see.
Robby, I guess right back here. Where did you maybe see some of the biggest growth for this year's team as opposed to last year when you guys were freshmen? Because like Travis said, it is a young team, so where did you guys maybe improve the most?
Definitely defensively, I think that we're a lot stronger than last year. I think a lot of times we down the stretch, like we turn the ball over and make some mistakes as well. So we grew up a little bit, and you saw that at the beginning of the season where we had a lot of close games, and last year, we ended up giving those games up. As we saw at the beginning of the season, we learned how to win in crunch time, but unfortunately, we couldn't keep that up throughout the season. But I feel like in crunch time and when the game was close, we stuck together way better than we did last year.
And to that point, just let's stretch kind of like you mentioned how some of these closer games didn't go your guys' way down the second half of the season. Is that maybe the biggest learning lesson that you guys are kind of taking going forward in the growing pain from this?
Yeah, definitely. We just got to stick together through adversity and just keep it.
Do we have any more questions for our players? Nope, then you guys are good to go. We'll put it up with Coach. Colter and Wise Guy Sports. Travis, Weaver's bigs, their front line seems to give you guys a lot of trouble, especially Dillon Jones. Can you talk about that element of this matchup?
Good player. In my opinion, he's the best player of that team because he contributes on both sides. And anytime you get a double pretty much every night from someone, you really can't just take that away. You can block him off. But 11 rebounds is just a ball. And he creates a different dynamic for them because he helps the ball and pushes it. He can create shots for others. And that's very difficult to guard. I like Signing Bridget for us in the past and before. There's some similarities. And then Bassett, he's got great size. And so for us, I thought their bigs did a better job of moving around and helping on the perimeter defensively than probably ours right now. And that created a huge edge for them. But at the end of the day, good players play well in these circumstances. Experienced players typically do. And I remember in 2017 showing up a tournament like this with some sophomores, and we went home on the first night. Came back and won it the next year, so we still got some work to do, and there's a lot of assignments in this room.
You guys got out to such a good start. You blitzed Weaver like that before in this tournament recently, so what was going well during that stretch? How were they able to sort of counterpunch in that stretch?
I must have started 5 before. We worked hard. We kept out of pain. We made it hard for them to find the shots they wanted, the rhythm. They played with the rhythm. And we took them out of that rhythm. And then we found our own offense because we were flowing in the ball, they weren't scoring, so we were in transition and whatnot. But then when they started scoring, we started taking the ball out of the net because they're shooting free throws and things like that. Slow the game down. And when the game got slow, that was to their advantage.
Travis, when you guys started 8-2 in conference play and then down the stretch finished 3-8, is that maybe just the youth of this team maybe coming up to play a little bit more? Is that what you know, maybe was the biggest part of that?
We lost Mac Anderson. And so we were the number one defense in the conference at the time. And when Mac left, we started giving up, I think, about 50-54% from the floor. So we just couldn't get stops. And that started at Idaho State 16% first half. So we lost our identity on the defensive side of the ball. And you can't win at this level just trying to score. You got to get stops. Transition is what creates high percentage shots, and we just have not been able to do that.
You touched on the 2017 team, how that was kind of a younger group as well. Like, do you see a lot of similarities between that team and this year's team, just from the youth side?
In terms of the timing, the roles that sophomores have. You know, we had some sophomores and freshmen out there playing a lot of minutes. They were trying to win games against juniors, seniors, fifth-year seniors. You know, that was a year when North Dakota, we were all senior league teams. And then the next year, we became one of the teams and made it score to us. So at this level, you want to get older. And when you do that, you stay older. We get a lot of guys walking out the door in 2019 together. We just haven't had roll since.
Second half, you guys got down by as many as 20, but then you fought back down to 10. So obviously, bad note, but just talk about the fight of this team and how they just never gave up this season.
Correct. And I think that's a sign of what's to come. There's a group that's willing to fight through adversity and fight together. They got themselves in all of it. They dug themselves out of it. And we really bought ourselves enough time to actually get back in the game. But then they jumped up and had a couple of big shots from guys that typically don't shoot threes. And I think that will come back.
Travis, Josh went one of his longest stretches of the season without scoring, kind of the first half and then in the second half. How tough can it be as a coach to kind of try to keep him confident and driving to the basket and doing what he does?
It's hard. You know, you want him to get the ball in his spots. It's been very difficult first to get the ball. You want to get it to him. We're in front of him. There's one pressure on the wing, so we really couldn't get inside side, so we had to go to some other options. TJ got off to a really good start, so we rode that for a little while. Once again, foul trouble kind of set in, and we went to some lineups that weren't necessarily our best defensive lineups, and then they got hot, and we just never really recovered from that. And, I think the key for us is to not have too many guys in the floor. They can't guard the guy in front of them because they can't get much with help. We just had too many guys in help.
Coach, does the foul trouble really just catalyze the consequences that happen later in the game for you guys?
Yeah, they've got their 5 stars on the floor. We've got 2, 3. And it's just hard when you don't have the depth necessary. And you know, we've got good players coming off the bench. I just don't know that they're good players that can match up with the guys they had on the floor. And they started getting really easy, high percentage shots. And that's why I went back to Whitney with the 2 fouls. It slowed it down. And we kind of got it going into the half. I don't know that we necessarily recovered offensively.
What elements do you think you need to add to the program to return to a championship level?
What's that?
What elements do you think you need to add to the program to return to a championship level?
Size, athleticism, but also just time, age. The guys that return get a little better. We need to put some juniors and seniors on the floor like everyone else, and we'll be doing that next year. As long as guys will be great older. So I think the biggest thing for us as the clock ticks is that we know when we put on the floor next year, we'll be one of the 2 most experienced teams in the conference, and so our expectation for ourselves will change.
Any more questions for Coach? Great, thanks everyone.
Thanks, Travis.